And now the news in detail. The phrase peace and goodwill takes on a Christian connotation during the Christmas season. But for the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force, it means successfully clamping down on some alleged bad eggs who have cast an unpeaceful spell over some communities in Tortola.
While many were enjoying the festivities over the Christmas weekend, officers of the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force were out on the beat, netting 3 major arrests. The first being that of Isadro Jefferson, a resident of Longlook. Jefferson was charged for attempted murder and possession of explosive in relation to a shooting incident at the Stickett on December 12, 2016, where David Mooney Springett was shot in the thigh. Springett was a 2-time shooting target. The second occurred at Bellevue, where he dodged bullets and escaped without injuries. However, the police arrest hopefully averted a third strike. Springett reportedly told the police that the accused has been looking for him since Estefan Jefferson was fatally gunned down near the Stickett on November 17, 2016. Isadro and Estefan were brothers. In unrelated incidents, the second and the third to enter the police's dragnet were 2 brothers, Selroy and Sean Troy Hanley, both of Purcell Estate. Selroy was charged with being in possession of a firearm with intent to endanger life, while his brother, Sean Troy Hanley, was charged with incitement. The 2 were detained in relation to a shooting incident near the Purcell Estate basketball court in February of 2016, where 2 brothers were injured. Subsequently, they were each granted a $70,000 bail in a magistrate's court on December 28, 2016. Commissioner of Police Michael Matthews said the arrests over the Christmas weekend were demonstrations that even during the holidays, the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force continue to pursue those who intend to engage in violent crime and use firearms on the streets of the territory. Matthews expressed that persons were right to be concerned about the serious gun crimes that have crippled the communities of Tortola recently, while noting that his officers will continue to pursue offenders, particularly those who carry firearms and who commit related offenses. He said the pressure will continue in 2017. For JTV News, I'm Kathy Richards.
Premier Dr. D. Orlando Smith recently addressed several questions posed by opposition leader Julian Fraser during the question and answer session in the House of Assembly on the management and divestment of the state-owned Prospect Reef Resort, which has been experiencing financial challenges. Premier and Finance Minister Dr. D. Orlando Smith disclosed in the last session of the House of Assembly for 2016 that Prospect Reef Resort is in arrears regarding the payment of Social Security, National Health Insurance and payroll tax for its employees. He was responding to a series of questions from opposition leader Julian Fraser on the operations of Prospect Reef Resort.
It has been brought to my attention that Prospect Reef's contribution to BVI Social Security Board on behalf of the staff outstanding from December 2012 to September 2016. The last payments for the months of October and November were paid on January 23, 2015. But the Speaker has also been brought to my attention that the contribution to the NHI have not been paid for the year. It is expected that the Social Security and NHI contributions will be brought up to date by the end of this year. Likewise, Madam Speaker, Prospect Reef is also delinquent in paying its payroll tax to Inland Revenue.
How is it that your government, Madam Speaker, could allow a company that's owned by you to be owing Inland Revenue's money, owing NHI money, and so on and so forth, Social Security? It's repugnant, Madam Speaker.
Both men then traded words over how successive administrations have mismanaged Prospect Reef.
What I find interesting, Madam Speaker, is that the sudden interest in Prospect Reef from a government which for 4 years abandoned the property, did nothing after he put a management board Prospect Reef, put a management board in place. Shortly after that, the government changed, and for 4 years nothing happened.
Madam Speaker, it's cheap for the Premier to go back 8 years to talk about some government that was there for 4 years and has done nothing. But you've been there for the last 5 years, 5 years, and what have you done? You have a company that's owing the government Social Security, owing it for NHI. Remember, Prospect Reef is your baby.
The opposition leader also put it to the Premier that it was a mistake to reject a previous bidder, McAlpine's request for a feasibility study on the resort at the expense of the government. He asserted that McAlpine's overall investment would have resulted in $100 million being pumped into the BVI's economy. But the Premier said McAlpine ought to have done what they thought was, quote, right and just, end quote, instead of laying the responsibility at the feet of the government.
It was important to understand that the feasibility study, if McAlpine was asked about to develop the hotel, it was important that they do their own feasibility study.
And if you had conducted it for less than $1 million, I'm sure, we would have probably had $100 million investment taking place right now in the territory. So I don't see, if you could, Madam Speaker, if you could invest $7 million in an aircraft, an airline, whereas as far as I'm concerned, it should have been the business doing it, the company doing it. Why couldn't you have done that for the development of a hotel resort?
So who is the preferred bidder who has been chosen by the National Democratic Party administration to take over Prospect Reef Resort?
ICA BVI Group Corporation is a BVI entity comprising of a consortium of BVI and Middle Eastern partners. This, along with other partners and affiliates, have varied experience in areas of hotel development, management and branding, marine engineering, architecture and interior design, construction and finance.
Premier Smith said his administration is committed to the redevelopment of Prospect Reef Resort and will ensure this becomes a reality shortly. The British Virgin Islands Electricity Corporation BVIEC bought 3 new Wärtsilä generators as part of their $48 million power expansion project designed to significantly improve the power generating capacity of the Pockwood Pond power plant. The generators arrived in August and were expected to be online for testing at the end of December 2016. However, the contractor hit a snag, pushing back the testing phase by 2 weeks.
Initial target date was the end of this month, December 31st, approximately. But they've been delayed by a couple of weeks. So we're looking at mid-January for them to commence their commissioning tests.
Deputy Managing Director of BVIEC, Henry Creaky, told JTV News that the delay was caused by some preliminary civil works which were not completed on time by the contractor. While alluding that the unforeseen circumstances could cause further delay, Creaky remains optimistic of a mid-January 2016 testing deadline. But what does this delay mean for the pockets of government and or the contractor?
Yes, they will have a financial claim for that. And of course, the corporation, depending on the nature of the claim, we may accept or reject their claim, and it goes. You have some negotiations there.
BVIEC's General Manager Leroy Abraham had anticipated that by the end of January 2017, the upgrade would be finished and the power generating capacity significantly increased. One of the founders of the Virgin Islands Party VIP, Randolph Malone, has died. He was 89 years old. In a tribute posted on social media on December 28, 2016, Chairman of the VIP, Andrew Foy, described Mr. Malone's life as significant not only to the party but to the entire Virgin Islands. According to Foy, Malone and the late Chief Minister Hamilton Lavity Stout worked hard with a number of friends to develop a practical vision for political advancement of the Virgin Islands. He said, quote, "The entire Virgin Islands family is deeply saddened by the loss of this great native son. Fond memories are what we will always have to remember our dearly departed businessman, father, nation builder, and child of God," end quote. Randolph Malone was the father of Carvin Malone, the VIP's immediate past president, Meade, Keith, Guy, Jane, Jackie, and the late Angel Malone. Meade Malone posted on his Facebook page, quote, "Our dad, friend, advisor, and greatest cheerleader has gone home to be with the Lord. We will miss him dearly. May his soul rest in eternal peace," end quote. On the other side of the aisle, Minister for Education and Culture, Myron Walwyn, laid his dad to rest after he succumbed to a period of illness. The late Vincent Vernal Walwyn died at the age of 66 on December 18 at a hospital in San Juan, Puerto Rico. He was diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia. His children, Myron, Cecil, Carla, Michael, and Lauren, were joined by many relatives, friends, and politicians for a funeral funeral service held at the Seacoast Bay Methodist Church on December 29. Originally of St. Kitts and Nevis, the late Vincent Vernal Walwyn spent over 50 years of his 66 years residing in the BVI and was credited among others as one who toiled to build the territory. The management and staff of JTV News extend heartfelt condolences to the Malones and Walwyns. Once again, a new year is upon us, and for many, it's a time to reflect and take stock of what was, but more importantly, to look to the future with a fresh mindset and possibly even a fresh start. Here's what some residents are looking forward to in 2017.
My New Year's resolution is to be a lot more calm and easygoing. I need to just chill, relax, and take everything as it is in 2017.
For the new year, the gifts that I'm looking forward to is life, health, and to be able to thank God for those.
And any New Year's resolution?
Yeah, be the best me. Work on being the best me that I can. That way I'm better for other people. My resolution would be to love more, especially the Donovan house where the elderly live, and I took care of a guy named Mr. Reimer for 3 years, and more attention needs to be sent on the Donovan house and for our elderly here in the community. Gandhi once said, a community is only good as you take care of its elderly and its animals. So please, let's come as a community and take care of our elderly. That's my big wish.
Our resolution, long life, health and strength, and family together.
A New Year's resolution to be the best that I can be and try to do things better for the community and make sure that the Caribbean people survive and really be prosperous, right, for the new year.
My New Year's resolution is to be more supportive.
Well, my New Year resolution is to do better in school and to, stay out of trouble and what's not.
Okay, my resolution is to get certain things done, like building my home. I'm starting now, and to get make sure everyone is out there, be safe and enjoy the new year coming. And I hope everyone achieve what they're looking for and keep to their resolution, because we do go away from them.
I'm Avril Gums.
I'm Nancy Knight.
I'm Melanie Blaze.
Simone Monsanto.
Jackie Malone.
Happy New Year, BVI!
Still to come on JTV News, the big story this week. Chinese company outbids Ideal McAlpine to net TB Letsum airport expansion contract. Plus, a look back at how some residents were given quite a treat by Santa this Christmas. But first, our news making headlines in the Caribbean.